Assalamu alaikum. Hello my dear students. How are you? Hope all of you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah, I am also fine. This is Mohshin Kabir, lecturer, Department of Biology, Milestone College, Uttara, Dhaka. Welcome you all to my today's online class. Dear learners, discussion on creative questions on your reshuffled syllabus has been completed already. But one thing is notable. Students often do poor result in MCQ. But you know, MCQ is also important as same as creative questions. You have to obtain good marks both in CQ and MCQ. So, in our today's class, we are going to solve some important MCQ from Grasshopper, which is included into Chapter 2, Introduction to Animal. I hope you will be benefited from today's class if you do the class attentively. So, my dear students, let's move to the main discussion. Multiple choice questions are divided into three categories. Number 1, simple. Number 2, multiple completion based. And number 3, situation set based. All types of MCQ we will discuss. So here is the first MCQ. Look at the diagram. And according to the diagram, the question is applicable for the structure of the stem. Here number 1, helps in crushing food. Number 2, it forms the lower leaf. And number 3, sensory pulp is present. At first, you have to recognize the stem or recognize the diagram. So, I hope all of you have got it by reading the questions. Yes, it is called labium, one of the important appendages of the mouth parts of grasshopper. So, this MCQ is multiple completion based. So at first you have to know what is mouth parts. The movable and the articulated appendages around the mouth collectively called mouth parts. And do you know the mouth parts of grasshopper is called mandibulate type? But why it is called mandibulate mouth parts? Because the mouth parts of grasshopper helps in masticating young leaves and stems. So this type of mouth parts is called mandibulate type. And the mouth parts of grasshopper consist of 5 individuals. Number 1, labrum, maxilla, mandible, labium and hypopharynx. Among them, labium is one of the important appendages. So look at the options here. Number 1, it helps in crushing food. Labium doesn't help in crushing food. Instead of labium, mandible helps in crushing and cutting foods. So information number 1 is not correct according to the stem. Number 2, it forms the lower leaf. Yes, this information is correct, because we know labium forms the lower leaf and the labrum forms the upper leaves. And option number 3, the sensory pulp is present. Yes, these two parts are called sensory pulp or labial pulp. The labial pulp or sensory pulp detect the quality food. So according to the questions, these two informations are correct. So option B will be the right answer. So my dear student, I hope you have got the right explanation. Now question number 2. Look at the diagram, and according to the diagram, the question is in which of the following system mentioned part of the diagram is found. And the options are digestive system, excretory system, respiratory system and reproductive system. This one is simple MCQ. At first, you have to recognize the diagram. What is mentioned in the stem? My dear students, can you recognize the diagram? Yes, I think you have got it already. It is spiracle, and spiracle is not found in digestive system, excretory system and reproductive system. Spiracle found in the respiratory system. It is one of the important part of respiratory system. The respiratory system of grasshopper consists of trachea and their branches in a complicated form. That's why the respiratory system of grasshopper is called tracheal system. And the tracheal system consists of 5 parts: spiracles, trachea, air sac, tracheal cells and tracheole. Among them, spiracle is one of the important part. There are 10 pairs of spiracles present in a respiratory system. Among them, 2 pairs of spiracles present in thorax and 8 pairs of spiracle arranged in both sides of abdomen. The spiracles opens into a tube-like structure that is called trachea. And trachea consists of 3 layers. The inner layer of trachea is called intima. And the intima form a ring-like structure in a regular interval through the trachea. This ring-like structure are called ctenidia. Due to presence of ctenidia, trachea doesn't collapse. So, my dear students, the stem is, the mentioned diagram in the stem is spiracle and it is found in respiratory system. So, the right answer will be option C, respiratory system. Now, question number 3. Look at the board. Applicable for the blood circulatory system of grasshopper. Number 1, open type. Number 2, respiratory pigment is present. And number 3, dorsal vessel is present. According to the pathways of blood flow, blood circulatory systems are 2 types. One is open type circulatory system, another is closed type circulatory system. In open type circulatory system, blood is not contained within blood vessels. This type of circulatory system basically found in arthropoda and mollusca. In closed type circulatory system, blood is always contained within the blood vessels. This type of circulation system found in Annelida and all the developed animals. So, this information is correct because grasshopper belong to the phylum Arthropoda. So grasshopper also possesses open type circulatory system. So this information is correct according to the question. And number 2 here, respiratory pigment is present. Open type circulatory system is divided into 3 parts: hemocoel, hemolymph and dorsal vessel. And there is no respiratory pigment present in the blood of insect or grasshopper. The colorless blood of insect or grasshopper remains in hemocoel and coexist with lymph. That's why it is called hemolymph. So this information is not correct according to the question because there is no respiratory pigment is present in the blood of grasshopper. And final one is dorsal vessel is present. Dorsal vessel is present in the open type circulatory system or the circulatory system of grasshopper. And the dorsal vessels is divided into 2 parts. One is aorta, another is heart. The heart of grasshopper divided into 7 chambers. So according to the questions, these 2 information, number 1 and number 3, these 2 informations are correct. So here is the answer. Which of the following is correct? So right answer will be the option C. Number 1 and number 3. These two information are. Dear learners, now we are going to solve the situation set based MCQ. Look at the board. Observe the following step and answer the question number 4 and 5. Here is a diagram, and question number 4 is, in which of the following organ mentioned part of the diagram is found? The options are option A, digestive tract, option B, trachea, option C, Malpighian tubules, and option D, compound eyes. At first, you have to recognize the diagram. I think you can easily recognize this diagram. Yes, it is ommatidium. So, ommatidium is basically found in compound eyes. So, the right answer of this question will be option D, compound eyes. There are two compound eyes present in both sides of the head of grasshopper. Each compound eyes consists of around 2000 small visual units. Every visual unit is called ommatidium. So, right answer of this question will be option number D, compound eyes. Now, the question number 5. Look at the board. Applicable for the mentioned diagram. You know, the mentioned diagram is ommatidium. So, the information number 1 is light access to the ommatidium through cornea. You know, cornea is the outermost transparent biconvex hexagonal cuticular layer. So light enters into the ommatidium through cornea. So this information is correct. Number 2, iris and retinular sheath extend in bright light. You know, black pigmented iris sheath and retinular sheath extended in bright light. So in bright light, all the ommatidia are isolated, so that image is only formed from the longitudinal ray in bright light. This image is called apposition image. But in dim light, the iris sheath and the retinular sheath confined. So in dim light, all the ommatidiums are not isolated. In this time, image is formed from the both longitudinal ray and the diagonal ray. So this image is called superposition image. So this information is correct. Iris sheath and retinular sheath extend in bright light. And number 3, image is formed in rhabdome. You know, this part of the ommatidium is called rhabdome. Image is formed in rhabdome. So all the informations are correct. So which of the following is correct? The right answer will be the option D. 1, 2 and my dear students, I have discussed only few MCQs in our today's class, but you have to practice more and more so that you can get a better result. So that's all for today. Thank you for being with me. Stay home and stay safe. Allah Hafiz.